What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. A couple of you lot saying I've been quiet over the last few days, and that's on purpose because of the wave of noise that was coming from our fan base into meltdown over transfer was just doing my head in. I had to take a couple of days off because I couldn't believe that sense didn't prevail in what they were doing. So sometimes, guys, in football, and remember, football is a business, it's sport, it's entertainment. A lot of people forget about that, which means it has to be managed as such. In order to save money, there's a cost, there's sacrifices. In order to bring in 6 players like we did last summer and spend more money, not just last year, but more than any team in the last 3 seasons, there's a cost to it. And what we saw in January was 2 things. One, Arsenal trying to hit that home run with Vlahovic, which didn't work out. And fair enough, it wasn't their fault. This was third party. Florentina wanted a deal. We wanted a deal. The agent wanted to get paid and really didn't care where the player went. And Vlahovic got his wish. He went to Juventus. But at the same time, what I don't want to hear from the fan base is that we weren't ambitious enough, because we threw everything. We threw too much. We threw so much at this player that even I was saying after a bit, guys, let's peg it back. Let's get rid of this. Let's shut the door on this. Because it was embarrassing. The fact that you're already asking for a high price that's the game, right? But then you're asking for another 20 million for the agents and everything. I mean, come on, you're just taking a piss. And at that point, when I saw things started getting silly, I was just like, we need to, just for ethical reasons, for us to tell all the other teams around the world that we might be desperate, but we're not stupid. Yeah? That's why I wanted us to pull out, because there are greener pastures elsewhere, and, you know, who knows? He might have worked out for Arsenal. He might not have. So we'll just have to look at it moving forward and see how well he does with Juventus. But good luck to him. At the same time, Arsenal shaved 16 million off our wage bill from now till the end of June. That, guys, is a result. That is absolutely fantastic. Arsenal have saved 16 million just on the wage bill in the next few months. And credit to the front office for that and getting rid of quite a few players. So let's run through them. First of all, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Now, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, when a player goes out to loan, it's their request. And he long wanted to leave and got his wish. And Roma squared the deal up. Fine. And by the way, Ainsley Maitland-Niles had not played since Watford when he got man of the match. So he hadn't played for a couple of months. The next player was Klasnach. Now, his contract was terminated and he signed with Marseille, and that was another 100 grand a week. When was the last time he played? Again, 2.5 months. So again, I think the point I'm making here is, guys, is that none of these players were active in our current team. None of these players had played the role in getting this team up to 4th place. So now we're out of all the competitions and only have 17 games left. They won't be playing a part moving forward. The fact that all the midfielders are going to be back, you know, Xhaka, Partey and El Nene are going to be back for the next few games, and Pepe's back as well. That was really where the crisis was. It was in that central midfield area. But, I mean, all that's sort of over now. So the question is, if you don't get rid of these players, they're just going to be hanging around, sucking money out of the club for the next 5 months, and they won't be playing a part of it. And that is the truth, guys. That is how it works. So there is no love lost with all of this that's going on here. We move on to Pablo Mari. He's on loan to Udinese, and again, he hadn't played since September. So now we're going back 3 or 4 months. So again, the pattern continues. Then we have Callum Chambers, who's gone to Aston Villa. Well done, Stephen Gerrard, for that, because he's a nice player. Yeah, always rated him. Always thought that he could get a job done. At times, when Arteta first took over the team, he was number 1 on the team sheet before the horrible injury. But, you know, he was a quality player. He's gone for undisclosed fee. I like the way how they say undisclosed. In other words, they shifted Arsenal a couple of million just to get the deal done because, again, he's out of contract. So Arsenal not only don't have to pay him wages because the guy weren't playing anyway, he came on in a cameo role against Liverpool in the League Cup. When him and Holding came on in the first round, when in the first leg actually, when it was 0-0 up at Anfield. But before that, he hadn't played in a bunch. So again, another move to appease a player, save earnings, and then they got a little bit of cash. I believe it was somewhere around 2.5 million. They got a little bit of cash, but again, undisclosed. And this leads us to the big one, Pierre-Emerick Abamian, a player who, I love me some Abamian, but a lot of the fans have been very critical because his form had dropped, missing chances, he's sucking money out the club, and a lot of people were saying he didn't care anymore and stopped performing. But that really isn't the crux of it. The crux is that he was the club's captain, and I made the point out of saying, yeah, you got to be first in and last out, and he was last in and first out. Yeah, kept coming up late. His ethics weren't at the club's level, and that's why he was penalised. And regardless of what we hear and rumours behind closed doors, the fact of the matter is he wasn't playing for Arsenal. Again, not played in 2 months, not being featured. And the club did something with it. They were able to get something back, and that something was quite a lot of money that they've got back for him in terms of savings. Now they can look at that money and reinvest in the summer. So overall, in my opinion, the transfer market was a very balanced book. No, we didn't get the striker. Yes, we did well on outgoings and got rid of a lot of dead wood. In fact, I could go as far to say we've now got rid of 90% of the dead wood that Arteta came into the team with. And there's now just a handful of players that he's got to get rid of. Yeah, we're going to lose Lacazette, we're going to lose Nketiah, we're going to lose El Nene, we're going to lose Bernd Leno, but we're going to replace those players. So moving forward, I'm looking forward to a healthy summer this season where the team can now sit back and take their time and pick and choose their targets rather than feel like they've been rushed into this situation. The only thing that I would hope is that you can see Pepe play a part in the next couple of months, because Abamian's not here, so I would like him to fulfill that kind of role on the left wing that Abamian played. I would definitely feel that his place is definitely there. But please put Martinelli in the middle. I know people like him on the left, not too bad on the right, but in the middle he's dynamite, and he can play all across the line. Most of them Brazilians can. Firmino, you can include him in that. But I think there are ways that you can make this thing work. But at the end of the day, the foundation's built with the players that are currently playing now, not the ones that have been sold. Those players that have gone, which everybody's complaining, is our depth. Never played. And sure, we might have some injuries or suspensions or things like that, but I'm sure you can, move things around in order to cater it. It's not going to be a disaster. And I said, you've got the likes of Pepe, who really hasn't played much since the Norwich game when he set up Abamian's goal. He really hasn't played much, but he can. And not just can he play, but he's very productive as well. I kind of miss 26 goals and 18 assists right now. I miss it. Because regardless of how good Saka and Smith Rowe are playing, we're not getting that level of performance out of them. We just aren't. So, and look, and we're talking about end product. Yeah, they might be performing really well, and I agree. But we're talking about end product. Assists and goals win games. Yeah? Running around, going past players like Oxlade-Chamberlain used to do, never replaced what Walcott used to do. Walcott used to bang in the goals, and Oxlade-Chamberlain never used to do that. And that's why we lost out. We got rid of Giroud and we got rid of Walcott, both players who scored 20 goals in the season, by the way. And Lacazette never been able to do that. Oxlade-Chamberlain never even got into double figures. So there are some things that we can look up in the summer. Jonathan David, Ollie Watkins, I'm not a fan of his. Calvin Lewin, Alexander Isak. We've got, again, Raheem Sterling. He ain't signed a new deal yet. So there are ways we can go, but I expect to see more names coming into the fray because they've got that time to sit back and look at what they want to do in the market. Incomings for Arsenal, though, Matt Turner is reportedly purchased from New England Revolution, expected to join Arsenal in the summer. So, again, another player who's probably been loaned back. And another player who we brought in is Austin Trustee. What a name, Austin Trustee. It sounds like something out of the Disney Pixar Cars movie, doesn't it? Austin Trustee. It sounds like a character. But yeah, he's been brought in from Colorado Rapids and he's expected to join in the summer as well. but he'll be loaned out to a European team in order for him to get some more experience. And sometimes I watch America when they play, and they got some decent players there. And you have to remember, they play a lot of football over there, a lot. So it wouldn't shock me or surprise me that we'd be using, you know, Brazilian players, European players, and American players to try and build a good foundation of where we're going to go with our future. They're now looking at new contracts for Saka and Martinelli, and hopefully they're going to try and tie these guys down to long-term deals. And they're really investing in the youth. And what that means is two things for us. It means that these players are going to be able to grow with the foundation that we're kicking in and become a part of something bigger, Arsenal. And if they don't make it, then we'll be able to sell them off for a buck. And that's something that we haven't really been able to do before. I mean, look at Joe Willock. Think of more of that happening as we begin to develop players moving forward. So, guys, listen. Overall, from me, an average transfer window with an average grade. Because I would have liked to have seen a striker come in. But at the end of the day, we've got rid of so many problem areas with the team, and now the books are looking a lot more healthy now. I did say to you in the previous video, we've gone from 280 and we'll probably be down to 220. We're lower than that now because of Abamian. So this is much better than I thought it would be. But moving on, guys, we will go through the rest of the season, the next 17 games, with the players that have got us this far. And that is it, guys. These are the players on the pitch now. We might be a little bit short on numbers, but we don't need the overall numbers because we're only in one competition. And the wages is way more manageable now. We're very, very healthy. And we're looking forward to closing out this season by challenging for a top 6 place. And that's the way it's always been from the start of the season. So, look, we needed a rest. We went to Dubai. We had to exhale and take a break. We really needed it. It was a very tough period for us. And let's see these guys come back on the 10th against Wolves away from home with some vigor and some stamina. Yeah? So speak to you guys later, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Peace, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Nice one, guys.